Familia, it's your favorite Puerto Rican, Brooklyn, Philly. And I just felt compelled to jump on here, right? I'm using the Signs of the Time Oracle. And literally, it feels very apropos, right? The signs of the time. I mean, today, beloved, we have both Ash Wednesday, which kicks off Lent, right? The 40 days of fasting, as well as in Islam, alhamdulillah, right? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak, right? To all my Muslim brothers and sisters out there, may Allah give you the strength, right? And the fortitude you need, and we thank you for your fasting and your prayers, right? But both began today on this Ash Wednesday and Holy Ramadan. And this hasn't happened in 33 years. That was the last time it happened, so it's a rare occasion. And I felt really touched, right? Because I see it as such sacred moments, right? Where here we are, two distinct religious understandings and interpretations of how they view their higher power. Yet they both are kicking off, and their predominant focus for one 30 days and for the other 40 days, right? It's fasting, prayer, and charity, right? And it made me think of how sometimes we tend to focus on what divides us as opposed to what unifies us, right? And how we have a choice, right? It is my choice, your choice, to look at my Muslim brother and sister, my Jewish brother and sister, my Catholic, Buddhist, whatever, right? Any individual from any differing background, belief, whatever the difference may be, and we can choose to look at the difference and focus and make that the main point, or we can choose to look at what unifies us, right? What are some of the commonalities that we share, as most importantly, I'm hearing as living, breathing beings, right? As the sacred consciousness that we all are, right? That are very purposely meant to be here, right? I mean, because when you think about how many aren't here, and how many, I'm going to get a little graphic, sperm cells didn't get to connect with that egg to produce that sacred consciousness, but you're here, I'm here. There's purpose to us. There's meaning to us, right? And if, for those of us, right, because not everyone believes in a higher power, but for those of us who do have an understanding of this higher power, right, this creator, creatress energy, getting involved so intricately and individually with us, as well as so collectively, I'm hearing the way a little kid would, because God don't make no junk, right? And now I'm hearing that there's a gospel song that says, I need you, you need me, we're all a part of God's body, right? Stand with me, agree with me, right? And again, we don't have to agree on everything, right? I don't know. That was for somebody. That meant some firefly, wonder, right? And I'm hearing Spirit say, if we would look at each other with curiosity and wonder, as opposed to fear and I don't like this word, but disgust, right? Because we tend to fear what is different, right? And when we fear something, then we fearmonger, or we demonize it, right? I didn't expect this meeting to go that way. Reflection, right? Yeah, we're all reflecting one another, right? And I'm hearing we're all the reflections of the creator, creatress, right? And I'm hearing, again, it's a choice. What are you choosing to reflect? Right? Okay, ancestors, okay, Spirit, they got a little deep. I didn't expect all this. I mean, it's beautiful. Listen, I receive it, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? um, it's interesting. I was talking to someone earlier, my niece actually, about this movie called The Life of Pi, P-I. I don't know, maybe somebody would like to check that out. But it's very interesting because in that movie, little spoiler alert, but the individual, the main character in the movie, the antagonist, the protagonist. Wait, why am I going there with the storylines? But anyway, the main character, he has a different encounter with Christianity, Islam, and I believe it's Hinduism. And he proclaims all three as a part of his faith. What a belief, right? What a strange or odd thing for some. That would be like, huh? How could you be Muslim, Christian, and Hindu at the same time? What's up with that, right? But why not? Right? Interesting. Yeah, look. I just looked at the bottom of the deck, and mountains or obstacles are in the reverse. I really do believe, right, with all of this planetary activity, everything that's happening under the astrology. Again, this is not, last year we had like Ramadan, Easter, and Judaism. All three of them aligned perfectly. I do think that there is this call for us to, yeah. We need a revolution. We got so much confusion. Peace to Aaliyah, right? Ashe, sister, rest in peace, right? Yeah, there's something awakening, right? Yeah, I'm hearing Aquarius, now I'm hearing warriors, come out and play. If you old enough, right? Maybe that's another movie, Warriors, right? Yeah, Warriors was about the different gangs, right? Yes, and how the meeting was called because the leader was calling. I don't want to give all the way. It's a good movie. Was calling them. Well, I think so anyway. Was calling them. I just heard somebody say, no, it's not. It's okay. See, you can have your opinion and I can have mine, right? We can agree to disagree, right? It doesn't have to become beef. I just heard you don't really want a battle, right? And now I'm seeing us in the schoolground, Hollywood, go swing it, Hollywood, go swing it, right? Or she wally wallies, she bang. When we used to battle in the playground back in the day, PS5 in the house, Best Buy, do or die, right? Oh my God! But this whole like repping, right, boroughs and different neighborhoods, right? There's something about the lines that separate us, but them blurring and unifying us, right? There's something about I can still keep my autonomy and my individuality and still respect you and see your point of view, right? I don't necessarily have to embrace it or say that I'm accepting it as mine, like the young boy in Pie, right? But I don't have to fear it and demonize it either. And I'm hearing that, right, those mountains, being turned upside down. Yes, right? These obstacles, being removed. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look, recycle. Hello again. Right? And it says recover, right? We need to recover, right? Recover what was lost, right? And I'm hearing what was lost is humanity, right? This essence of humanity, of us being just humane to one another, right? Yeah, I'm hearing with particularly the shift that occurred at the turn of the 16th century with the construct of racism, right? Because you do understand that racism is a construct. It is a man-made construct that was invented solely for the purposes of manipulation to dominate and control other groups, right? And set oneself up as a superior group, right? Again, back to Warriors. And now I'm hearing Gangs of New York, right? That's another movie that's pretty gangster, right? What's up? I don't rep no gangster. I used to. Let me not even play with that. But it's the truth, right? I grew up in Brooklyn. Let's just put it that way, right? And alhamdulillah, I'm so grateful to Allah that, you know, a shift happened for me with that too, you know.